My photo marks prior at practice with the Rancho Mirage High School football team on their first day of practice on Monday, July 31st, 2017. Photo, Richard Louis / the Desert Sun right parenthesis My photos He walked off the field suffering as heartbreaking as high school football losses go. Marcus Pryor made a promise last fall. Rancho Mirage had progressed in leaps and bounds during their 3 years of varsity football, going from 1-9 to a playoff contender before last year's CIF Southern Section Division 12 championship berth. But last year's roster of 24 seniors, including 10 big-time starters, couldn't quite seal the deal down the stretch against Arroyo on the road. Fumbles, dropped passes, missed field goals and several other tiny miscues pushed the game into overtime. The Knights eventually found the end zone and sealed everything with a walk-off 2-point conversion. Everybody coming back knows this feeling. I felt it last year. It made me want to work hard, Pryor said, but for me to feel it twice, I need to work my hardest ever. Read more. Rancho Mirage falls in CIF Championship overtime thriller. Boy photo members of the Rancho Mirage High School football team on their first day of practice on Monday, July 31st, 2017. Photo, Richard Louis / the Desert Sun right parenthesis Monday afternoon marked the first chance for Pryor and his returning teammates to start putting that off-season work to the test, along with Palm Springs, Desert Mirage and Coachella Valley, as well as Desert Hot Springs, who began last week. The Rattlers took the field for their first official practice of the 2017 season. Alongside Pryor, the Rattlers enter practice with 22 total seniors on the Max Preps roster. Pryor, widely regarded as one of the Valley's top athletes after the end of last season, finished with 934 rushing yards on 116 attempts and 15 touchdowns. And he also spent time at quarterback, wide receiver, and was all over the field on defense and special teams. He single quote as a weapon few teams in the Valley can match. But it doesn't mean he and his teammates think a return to the finals will be a cakewalk. Because of their success, they were bumped up a Division II Division 11, the only Valley team to do so. Still, Pryor thinks his Rattlers kicked off a CIF championship winning season on Monday in the roasting of the July afternoon heat. But one man's talents and confidence aren't nearly enough to bring the hardware home. 8 times a local football team has gotten to the CIFSS finals and lost. Only twice had they come back the following year, and only the 1964 Coachella Valley Arabs managed to avenge the prior season's disappointment. By photo members of the Rancho Mirage High School football team on their first day of practice on Monday, July 31st, 2017. Photo, Richard Louis / the Desert Sun right parenthesis double quote We single quote been working harder. And at the same time I know we can get to a championship. But we've got to get everyone around to believe it, too. He said, we lost a lot of older people. And a lot of people are doubting us. Double quote The younger kids are going to be huge. We lost a lot of older kids. And they need to step up into bigger roles if we're going to get there. Double quote Read more. DJ Alexander, Desert's only current NFL player, traded from Chiefs to Seahawks. Nearly the rest of the Coachella Valley will put back on their helmets and shoulder pads by the end of this week, including Shadow Hill's Midnight Madness practice that marks the Knights' first padded practice Friday night at midnight. In contrast, because La Quinta will take its bye in week 1, the Blackhawks won't start practicing for 2 more weeks. By photo members of the Rancho Mirage High School football team on their first day of practice on Monday, July 31st, 2017. Photo, Richard Louis / the Desert Sun right parenthesis for Rancho Mirage and the rest of the Valley. The Rattlers lost to Arroyo sent a message. Championships really can be decided by the most minute mistakes and successes. The time to begin building the game plans, mental strength and physical skills to go the distance starts now. Double quote We just keep focusing on how it's going to be given to us, and that we don't have the same team as last year. Starting quarterback David Telley said, people aren't just going to lay down for us. And it's not going to be easy. We've got to grind and really focus.